Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is about real food, real ingredients, and really good tasting food. So check out this comment I got here on my YouTube channel. I did a video a while back on fake truffle oil because most truffle oil that's on the market is a mixture of garlic and broccoli extracts, and they mimic white truffle or black truffle oil. They just use a synthetic chemical to begin with. And I made a video bringing this to the light. A chef saying there are bad ingredients is like a composer saying there are just bad notes or bad instruments. It doesn't make sense. So, and the person went on to say that there's nothing wrong with using these sort of ingredients, fake ingredients, things like that. So here's my big thing. Pro athletes, baseball players, cyclists, Olympic athletes, they're all held accountable to be pure and natural. For them, an additive would be like taking a steroid, right? So now all of a sudden, if they're taking enhancements, they're not allowed to compete. I feel the same way with cooking, that these fake foods, that these chemicals, these preservatives, these synthetic ingredients is sort of a way to enhance food and cutting corners and cheating. It's a way to make a chef make better food than he's really capable of. Just like it's able to make a baseball player hit more home runs than he's capable of by taking a steroid, or a cyclist or another athlete by enhancing what they normally can't do. Maybe because they don't have the discipline to do it, or maybe because they just want to cheat, or maybe because they want that advantage edge. That's exactly what happens when you use fake ingredients. But even above and beyond fake ingredients, salt, sugar, and oil. I can make risotto, and risotto is at least 80% calories from fat, because it's loaded with butter and loaded with cheese, right? It's loaded, and you cook the rice and brown it in oil to begin with, and you finish with the butter. I know chefs will put heavy cream into it, okay? It's a nutritional nightmare, right? Mashed potatoes are a nutritional nightmare. Well, I can make risotto without adding any fat. I can use sweet potato puree instead of butter. That's just sweet potatoes and a little bit of salt cooked in water. And it gives that creamy effect. It's awesome. I do it. I've done it. I've done it many times. So why do most chefs just say, you know what? I just want to go the traditional route and just add in all this salt, all this sugar. You take white sugar away from a chef, a pastry chef especially, they wouldn't know what to do. That's how they make their sauces. That's how they make their pastries. That's a regular chef. They put it in the sauces everywhere. Something's a little too bitter, just add sugar, right? That's all they do, is just add sugar. Sugar, salt, and fat are so addictive, and they're such a detriment to our diet. So I want to challenge chefs to think and say, well, do I need to put all that in there? No, of course you don't. There's some phenomenal restaurants, some phenomenal chefs out there that are doing an outrageous job of making incredible gourmet food without adding in all of that crap, because you don't need that crap in your food. Okay? Our bodies just can't handle that. And then you're adding in fake ingredients. However, you're buying these beef bases, these chicken bases, and you're just that are loaded with chemicals. MSG, we all know MSG isn't a natural ingredient. It's not derived, it's not a natural thing, so to speak. They like to say it is, but the way it's processed and extracted and everything, it's a flavor enhancer. And we all get uptight when we put MSG in our foods, right? Oh, I don't want MSG, I don't want MSG, I don't want sulfur, I don't want nitrates, this and that. It's a way to make food last longer, taste better, retain more liquid, be juicier, look better. And I say, why can't we just all cook real food? Why can't we all be on a level playing field and cook real food? Now, especially talking about baseball players. If you're one of the best baseball players, you're out there hitting tons of home runs, right? And you're getting acknowledged. What about a chef who's getting a Michelin star, 2 Michelin stars, you're getting a 5-star review, who relies upon salt, fat, and sugar, right? Loading his food with butter, taking shortcuts, these chemicals and MSG. And what about these chefs? It's really not their cooking abilities that's making them taste that food taste good. It's their lack of cooking abilities and being able to just load their food with crap, which is making their food taste good. I'm sorry, I see this all the time. I've seen it for 20 years in this industry. Chefs, a lot of chefs are lazy. And if they can't extract flavors from vegetables, they will buy vegetable stock. If they don't want to make chicken stock, they will buy chicken base. They will buy things that are loaded with chemicals. That's not natural. And I see customers, and I see people that eat these, and oh, this soup is so good. I'm like, that's because your palate's so screwed up from eating this kind of crap that these chefs and these institutions have given you to begin with. There's no real flavors in there. It's all a synthetic mask on your palate, on your tongue. And it's disgusting. You taste something that's really handcrafted and made, it's a world of difference. Like lobster stock. These chefs out there that are making lobster stock, lobster bisque, they might start with lobster shells and they might, make it and go, but I guarantee you a lot of these guys have in their back pocket, okay, in the cooler, a little bit of miner's lobster base, right? Because if it doesn't taste enough, let's just put a scoop. I worked at a place that did that for years, right? We went through the whole procedure of making lobster stock, making lobster bisque from scratch, and then we couldn't get it to taste good enough, right? So we just gave up on it and said, okay, instead of improving how we're making the ingredient, improving on the foundation, let's just open up this little, miner's beef base and put some in there and taste it until it tastes good, right? And so many places do this. That's like taking steroids. If you're a chef, that's like taking an enhancement drug. And a lot of those things in those foods are drugs. They're addictive. They are very addictive. They have side effects. And it boggles my mind that, and then you have people making comments like, oh, these chefs can use these ingredients. You know what? I choose not to. And if I have a choice to eat, I'm going to choose not to eat those ingredients. I'm going to choose to go the pure, natural, organic route in food, and that's what I feel good on cooking. Is it harder to cook this way? Of course it's harder to cook this way because you have to focus on details. You have to get the best ingredients possible. I've worked at places where they take stock pots, big stock pots, kettles, and they just throw garbage in these stock pots all day long. So they throw all the trimmings of vegetables, things you would never want to eat, like roots and rubber bands that are on parsley, just throw in the stock pot all day long, right? Just let it simmer there. And everything just like mushes and falls apart. And these are some nice places, some nice hotels that do this, nice restaurants. And it's just like, you wouldn't eat the stuff you're putting in there. And then they just strain it. Oh, it doesn't taste that good, right? Yeah, because you put freaking crap in there all day long. You let it cook for 24 hours, right? Well, it doesn't taste like it. So let's again open up the miner's beef base and throw the beef base in there to let it up. Or it needs to add a little sugar because it's a little bitter, right? Yeah, because your cooking style made it bitter. You're using an ingredient. If you're using a bitter ingredient to begin with, maybe that ingredient is supposed to be served bitter. So if you're serving an ingredient that's supposed to be sweet, it's supposed to be sweet. If it's bitter, it's supposed to be bitter, okay? So you have to enhance those flavors, but not overpower them and mask them and trick the consumer and trick your own palate, because you're never going to really learn how to be a great chef. You take away salt, fat, sugar, you take away a chef's oven or something, take away the things that they've just been taken granted for so long, and then you try to let them cook and make food, and you really see what happens to somebody. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. What are your thoughts on using fake ingredients, synthetic chemicals, preservatives, stuff like that in food? Let me know your comments on the thread here. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and pass it on.